Hey everybody, I'm on a hike this morning and I figured I would make a quick video for you guys. 5 tips to keep you warm while backpacking this winter. The first tip I have is going to be understanding the layering system and adapting one that works for you. The 3 main components to a good layering system should comprise of a base layer, a mid layer, and some sort of outer layer. Your base layer is going to be what most people consider thermals or long johns. These should be comprised of some sort of moisture wicking material like merino wool or some sort of synthetic fiber, and that's because base layers are designed to wick moisture away from your skin. You won't get a ton of warmth from base layers, but you will get a ton of moisture control. You're looking for something that fits pretty snug to the skin and is relatively lightweight. I'm currently wearing a cheap merino wool base layer under this. It's by a brand named Endera, and I just found it really cheap on Amazon. Next up is going to be your mid layer. For my mid layer today, I'm wearing the Ventus by Outdoor Vitals. You want your mid layer to be an insulated piece, but also still very lightweight. You'll definitely gain quite a bit of heat from your mid layer, and on a day like today where it's 30 degrees, you may be able to use your mid layer as an outer layer as well. A lot of people will use a puffy jacket as a lightweight mid layer. This applies to pants as well. Your mid layer would be a normal pair of pants that you usually hike in. Number 3, your outer layer. Your outer layer or top layer could be something like a rain jacket, a windbreaker, or if it's really cold, a heavier jacket. Your outer layer is going to be something more to shield you from the elements, and if it's really cold, add that extra insulative layer to the outside of your mid layer. Tip 2 is to do absolutely everything in your power to stay dry. Obvious things would be wearing a rain jacket or rain pants, but less obvious things to help you control moisture would be things like starting your hike when you're cold. And what I mean by that is, if you're a comfortable temperature when you get out of your vehicle, once you start hiking, you're gonna sweat. And one of the biggest enemies to cold weather hiking and backpacking is sweat. I know we all like to be warm, but we wanna make sure we're not sweating while we're hiking. Store your tent in a way to where when you unroll it, it doesn't get snow or rain on the inside, meaning the rain fly is on the top as you roll it out. And speaking of tents, set up your tent in a way to where it's well ventilated. Condensation on the inside of your tent is an easy way to get all of your gear wet while you're sleeping. And in situations like I'm in right now, maybe consider bringing something like waterproof socks. Snow will soak your feet just as fast as walking through water. And just make sure you're doing everything in your power to keep your gear dry. If you've been following my channel for a little while, you'll know that I just made a video on this one. But number 3 is understand the temperature ratings for your gear and the R value for your sleeping pad. I won't spend a ton of time on this one because I have a video that I'll put up right here. You need to have a good understanding of the temperature rating of your sleeping bag and the R value of your sleeping pad. A 30-degree sleeping bag will not be comfortable at 30 degrees. And if you're a hammock camper, make sure you bring a properly rated underquilt. Tip number 4, something I really enjoy on a winter backpacking trip is bringing a stove. It doesn't have to be a big stove, just something to boil water so you can make some warm food and maybe even a warm drink before bed. It's not something I hear people talk about a lot, but warm food and a warm drink in your stomach before you get into your sleeping bag is huge to keeping your warmth up at night. And then lastly, tip number 5 is definitely one that I hear people recommend a lot, and that's because it's a great tip. If you carry something like a Nalgene bottle, boil water and put it in the Nalgene bottle, and then you can stuff that in your sleeping bag as an additional heat source. And also, before you get in your sleeping bag, if it's really cold, do some sort of exercise like jumping jacks or running or whatever you have to do to get your body temperature up before you get into your sleeping bag. I've talked about this one before as well, but your sleeping bag does not generate heat, it captures heat. So anything you can do to generate more heat before you get into your sleeping bag, the better off your sleeping bag will do at capturing that heat. This isn't something that I really do, but you can bring hand warmers and put those in your sleeping bag as well, and that'll help give you another heat source to keep you warm at night. And that'll do it for my 5 tips on how to keep you warm during a winter backpacking trip. There's definitely a ton more tips out there, but these are the first 5 that came to my mind. If you have any other tips, make sure to leave those in the comments below. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave a link to all the gear I mentioned in the description below. Thanks for watching today, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.